Okay. Looks like everyone wants to see the photorealistic. All right, cool. Sorry, Kaylee. If you go back to my workshop from Wednesday, there is the anime style, so you can see that. Although actually I think it might have been cartoon, but cartoon and anime are pretty similar, I found. So we're gonna go with photorealistic. I can show you guys what the anime and the cartoon ones would look like though. There's cartoon, we can kind of look through them. Cyberpunk. I think cyberpunk is really fun. I would be very interested. This short story I'm putting in here is a fantasy, so it'll be also interesting to see it in photorealistic because it comes up on the screen as K. Ah, I see you have little asterisks around there. My bad. I'm so sorry. It's interesting to use different styles with different genres because when I think high fantasy, I don't typically think cyberpunk. So it would be very interesting to see it with that. So it's fun to play around with the different styles and find out what works best with your book and your genre. Photorealistic is going to be interesting too. So we'll see. But now that we've chosen our style, I can go in here and upload my manuscript, which I threw on my desktop. Okay. It should be there. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna grab it. I have it on my desktop right here. Okay, so this is interesting. You can only upload a PDF file, so I am gonna go with a different short story. All right. So since we can't do that file type, I am gonna do a different project. So basically what I did is I found my manuscript on my desktop and I plugged this in here and it looks like it accepts PDF file types for now. So we're going to, now that we've put this in here, we're going to create the project. Basically this is giving you a statement that says we're using AI to analyze, which we know because this is an AI movie platform, so I understand, thank you. And it is going to read through the entire story, put together a storyboard for us, and also tell us how many coins it's going to take to put that storyboard together. So this is saying that it's going to take 170 coins. This is a little bit less. This is a short story, so this is probably only like maybe 6,000 words. So we're going to start processing. Okay. And then this can take a few minutes. Depending on how long the story is, it can take longer. But if you X out of this area, you can still come back to it and it'll still be loading. So don't worry about leaving. You can leave and come back. Does anyone have any questions so far as this loads? Ah, I see you have a question. Go ahead and ask. It does take screenplays and TV scripts.
Yes, hi, Margaret. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. This is Morris, Los Angeles. I just wanted to, while we're waiting here, I wanted to see if you've heard of LTX Studio.
Sorry, could you repeat that? It's a little
Sure.
quiet.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, this is Morris from Los Angeles. I just wanted to see if you have heard of LTX Studio.
OTX Studio. I personally have not, but what
Okay,
expand? Let me know.
sure. It's a movie making app as well. I've been using that. That's a similar situation where you upload your script and it instantly creates your movie scene with motion and pretty amazing. So I didn't know how yours is in the same alignment as far as functionality. So I just wanted to check. That's all.
Yeah, I've not personally heard of them. I'm sure that Michael and the rest of the team have. I would be interested to check them out and see. Are you happy with the stuff that it's giving you?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I've made just playing around with it about 4 or 5 little projects. I put, for example, I put in just a prompt of me a alien ship landing at the Super Bowl while they're playing the game.
Okay,
And
so it's more like a generation prompt. You can't put manuscripts in there, I'm assuming.
actually, you can. I put a Word doc of a general basic script, and it started putting together the entire scenes of my little movie, and it was
Hmm,
pretty impressive. Yeah.
interesting. You'll get to see very shortly what we can do. So
Great.
hopefully, I think it will impress you. Does anyone else have any other questions? I also can pull up another project that's already loaded too, because
I
sometimes it's
I have a
easier.
question about the coins. Do you
Yeah,
put like how do you get them?
you can purchase
And
them through the website.
so you purchased ahead of time?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
Yeah. So this is how you purchase the coins. You can click. You guys can still see my screen, correct? Pretty sure. So you'll click
Yes.
on these coins right here. And you can purchase them here. It'll show you how much they cost. Okay. So she's still downloaded, but she's almost ready. So I'm going to show you guys. I'll show you the one that I did on Wednesday then, just so you can get an idea of the different styles. So this is what I put in on Wednesday. And I think this is actually the cartoon style, not the anime style. But you can see the different kind of output. I think it's so cute, honestly. This looks so good. But yeah, this is what happened when I put in it's the same short story. So it'll be interesting for you guys to see the same short story with different kind of outputs. But we're gonna go over all these individual aspects in a second with the new one. But this is just like a quick look at a different style that can be generated through it. I think it was about downloaded actually. So we're gonna go back and check. Okay, it's still downloading. So we can poke around in this for now. Okay. This screen is basically just explaining what each of the sections looks like. Or sorry, what each of the sections is, but that's what I'm going to explain to you. Okay, so this is what comes up the second your story is generated through the machine. So we kind of have three different overhead sections that each have their own little subsections. This first section is called Director's Notes, which is basically like all of the aspects of your story that you can edit. So we have characters, settings, and objects. These are obviously all the characters that it's pulled from the book. And if they don't look like what you want them to look like, you can go in and edit them. So let's say, I don't even know who we want to edit. Let's edit Tab. Okay. So this will be an interesting one because Tab in my short story is half human, half fish, which it looks like it got the half fish part pretty well, but she is actually black. So we're going to change her skin tone. So if I want to edit a character that doesn't look like how I'm envisioning it in the book, this is the original version that the AI pulled for us, but we're going to go to this versions tab right here, and we are going to base it off of the original version because we do like the original version, but this is what we're going to change. I'm going to say, can you make her have? I feel like it might take this very literally if I say black skin, but we'll see. And then we can generate it. Also, another thing you can do, I'll show you guys after this. So this is the first version, the first way to alter what a character looks like. We're going to generate it, and it takes one token, which is essentially 10 cents. So every edit you make to a character costs 10 cents. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so here we go. It did take it very literally. It made her like actually black, but it's a lot better than the original one. But this is another way that we can alter the character too. So if we were like, okay, that didn't do it as well as I thought, I can go back to the original and then, so this is what you have to choose the base to base it off of. That's a bit of a mouthful. So if I was making a change, if I didn't like this version, I'd be like, okay, they kind of went a different direction than I wanted them to go. Let's just start with the original again and make a different edit. And this is how I'm going to make this edit. I want to upload a reference image. I wonder if I have one. Let's go with. Okay, here, perfect. So this is a character image that I had done by an illustrator that I want them to make this character look like. So you can upload reference images. They can be photorealistic, cartoon, whatever. If you have character art, you can plug it in here. And then the machine is going to then base this character, the blue one right here, off of the reference image. So we're going to generate that and see what happens. Sometimes it takes a second. All right. So where? Okay. Well, this may be a bug they are working on because it did not do anything. It should, but it did not. So I'm going to write that down. Okay. So theoretically, it's going to base the new character off of the image that you uploaded, but there might be some sort of bug, so I'm going to bring that back to the team. And we are in beta still, so there are going to be some bugs, but if you just politely let us know if something isn't working the way it should be working, we are happy to work on it and fix it for you. But those are the two ways you can alter a character. You can also alter their voice. Oh, do you have a question? Happy to answer any questions too. Yeah, the brown skin. I knew that was going to take it very literally. So you must. Sorry, did you have a question? I think maybe no. Did you have a question, user, or sorry, maybe. You guys are welcome to interrupt me anytime too, but I'm gonna mute you for now because I think it might just be a mistake. Okay, are there other questions? Okay. Thank you. Michael is in the chat taking questions. So sometimes when I'm presenting, it doesn't pop up the comments that people are making as I'm talking. So that's nice. That's Michael in there answering you guys. And he has very good answers as well. So anything I'm not able to answer, he will be able to answer. So another thing you can edit with the characters is their voice. If you don't like how their voice sounds in this preview, you can make edits to that too. We'll see what she sounds like here.
I have my reasons. Tonight, I will free Fawn and end Birkin's reign in the shadow. No matter the risk, I won't let fear stop me.
Sounds pretty good. But if we wanted to edit it, we can make adjustments to the tone. So actually, what do you guys think we should edit the voice to? Do you want it to be dark or deeper, higher pitched? Any suggestions? Or I can just play around with it too. I want to try and make this as hands-on as possible for you guys though. If anyone has any section. Okay, cool. Deeper and slower. Interesting. All right, we'll see what this does. And this is all like the fun part is like messing around with what you want your character to look like, what you want your character to sound like. Okay, I think it may be. So theoretically, it should be editing the voice here. I will write that down as well. Theoretically, when you put in what you want the voice edit to be like, it will pop up another version of the voice that you can listen to. So imagine in your head that there will be another thing on voice where you can choose which voice you want, the edited version or the version, the original version it came up with. Okay, so now that we've gone through this, does anyone have any questions here with the character section before I move on? Oh, okay. Voice editing is currently being fixed right now. I have received word. Okay. So the next part of our kind of three-part subsection for the director's notes is the settings, which for all of these sections, you're doing the same thing, minus the voice, because your settings aren't going to have voices. But if you didn't like the appearance of the setting, you could go to the version and make some changes. Although this is actually like accurate, but you can make edits to it too if you need to. I'm trying to think which one we can make. It's the same thing as characters. So you can basically change like no fire in this scene. So let's do it. We're going to take the fire out of this. But you can also make a version where there is fire too. It's very, you can play around with it. We're taking the fire out of this one though. There you go. So then you'd probably have to go back in and make another edit that says no smoke, which will actually show you. No smoke in this scene. So you're basically doing the exact same thing that you did with the characters, just to make sure your settings are all aligned with what you have envisioned with your story. We're going to see this one. All right, so it took out the smoke now. And then if we really wanted to get nitty gritty, we could even go back and be like, let's see. We could even go in and say, take out the, I don't even know what the, like the orange floating dots, because those are probably left over from the fire too. Oh, that's funny. So in my story, there's actually a hole in the wall covered by a barrel. So it did get that actually, which is cool. Okay, it took out a lot of them. They're still hanging around, but we could also view these as like dust as well. So I think it did a pretty good job with editing these. But then you would choose when you're making your scene, you want to choose like the most updated version of the scene, or of the setting, sorry, to use in the scene. Okay, so there's the original, and then here's the different versions that we chose that we just edited. So that was setting. And now objects is the exact same thing. You can go in and edit each of these objects exactly like you just did with setting and characters. And objects are the things that you're going to be seeing in the scenes that we generate. So actually, we'll go back and check and see if the other one has downloaded. All right, so this is the photorealistic version of the scene. These are very interesting. Kind of cool. The bear bouncer is interesting. All right. Very cool. And this is okay. You're gonna need to do some edits, I think. This is interesting. I think since we are actually editing the cartoon one, though, we might go back there since we've already done most of that, and I know we're already halfway through, so I just want to save time. But that was what the photorealistic scene looked like if anyone wanted to see like the difference between the two styles it generated. So this is that. Tab actually looks a bit closer to how she's supposed to look in this one. No, this is all preliminary, so it's gonna take a lot of editing. All right, so we're gonna go back to the one, oops, I went to the exact same one. We're gonna go back to the one that we were working on earlier, just to keep it smooth, running smooth. But let me see if there were any questions. Okay. All right, he's good there. Okay, so we did all of this. So now we're going to move into the storyboard, which is essentially where you can put together all of your shots to then compile them into a scene. So we're going to start with this one. And for right now, we're suggesting creators to only use 3. I don't want to say objects because object is one of the things in here, but 3 of these things. So there's character setting and objects. And it looks like in this shot, they are showing more than 3 things. So we're suggesting you to use 3 right now because the AI can get a little bit confused when there's more than 3. So for the best possible outcome, we recommend keeping it to 3. So it looks like we have 2 settings, an object and a character in this one. We're gonna get rid of this setting. So now we have 3 objects, which is basically, this is what she's gonna be wearing. Although she already is wearing a cloak. So we'll just actually keep it to 2 because it'll run even more smooth there. And you can choose the version you want. So we'll go with this version, just for funsies. And then if we had other versions of the scene, you could choose them there. But this is basically what's going to be happening in the scene. So you would have to go through and edit all of these different shots because all of the shots make up the scene. So we just have to look through and make sure that we're keeping it to 3. I'm gonna take out this one. I'm gonna take out this one to keep it consistent. We gotta make sure that our characters are consistent as well. So we're choosing this version. We don't need this setting. We're gonna take out this setting. So I'm just making sure everything is consistent with what I put in the first shot. We have that. Okay. Here we go here. It's gonna load the drop down. Okay, I think we're almost through this. All right. I'll actually just leave a couple like this so then you can see what happens if you don't change them. Okay, so once you're happy with all the shots that you have here, you can edit the dialogue type, you can edit the camera notes, add sound cues, add actions, but right now we're just gonna go with kind of what they generated to show you guys, and then we'll make an edit then to show you what it looks like. Okay, so once you're happy with all the shots, you're gonna generate start frames. Okay, we're going to edit. Okay, so this is all for this. Cool. We're good. All right. So we're just going to generate all this. Anyone have any questions? I know Michael has answered quite a bit of them, but those are probably more, yeah, these are more like high level stuff. Does anyone have any questions on the actual platform of what I've showed you thus far? Did I brush over anything that you want me to go back to? Feel free to either unmute.
Yeah, Margaret, I just had a quick question for you.
Yes.
What is the typical generation time and how long of a limit is there for a project? 5 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour?
So you're asking like how long it takes it to generate it and if there's a limit on how long it can be?
Correct,
A
yeah.
limit on how long the generation time is or how long the movie itself can be?
Both.
So generation time will vary based on the project. Short stories are going to take a little bit shorter, which is why I'm using these for examples here because they take less time to generate. I don't believe there's a limit on how long your movie or TV show can be, but Michael can definitely can confirm or deny that. I do not think there's a limit on how long they can be. I think we're pretty open to working with creators on how long they want to make their movie, TV show, trailer, etc. Character consistency in what regard? Are you talking about like throughout these scenes? I'm responding to Craig's comment, by the way. He wrote character consistency question mark, to which I am asking for further expansion on that question. If you're talking
Can you
about
hear
through the
me?
scenes, you will need to manually go in there and make sure that they are consistent, which is what we were just doing with the different shots and the characters that I was choosing there.
Can I do music videos as well?
Sorry.
Can I do music videos as well?
Music videos. That's a great question. I'm not sure. I'm gonna ask that in the chat so that Michael can see that. I would think that's probably, if not already in there, coming soon, because I can't see why they wouldn't be able to do that. You can do films with your own music. I was actually just talking to someone about this the other day. However, if it is a cover of a popular song that you're using in the video, there's a chance you'll run into copyright issues. So definitely consult a lawyer on that before you use any music that someone else might have created. But if you created your own music and want to use it in your film, like that's totally something you can do.
Another quick question. Is this a standalone product or do you have API integration with Sora or Anthropic or any other third-party company?
That is definitely a Michael question. Do you want to put that? I think he's still in the call. But if you want to put that in the chat, he should answer. If not, I will copy and paste the question and send it over to him. But yeah, put that in the chat because that's something I would not know the answer to. Absolutely happy to put on the presentation and answer your questions to the best of my abilities. I don't know if I said this in the beginning, but this is my first week working with Creatorwood, so I'm still learning as you guys are learning. So all these questions are great to help me learn and understand the platform even better. So thank you guys for being patient with me while I am also learning. So very exciting time. We're all learning together, but I'm happy to be here and happy to help to the best of my abilities. All right, let's see what we got here because I think we have all of our shots. So once we have the shots, we're going to look through them. So shots are basically, I'm trying to think of the best way to word this. Shots are individual clips that make up the scene. So we got to look through all these shots. We ideally want to make sure that they are consistent across the board, which you can see that they are really wanting to keep her green, which for the sake of time, we're not going to go through and edit every single one to make her not green. But if you wanted to, you go in here, let's click edit. We're going to change her. We want to make her, since we used black earlier, I'm going to use it again. It's probably going to literally make her skin tone black. Just for the sake of demoing, I'm going to show you guys this. And I'm going to say please, just for fun. Okay. So we're going to edit it. Theoretically, you should do this at the initial shot level so that It is consistent across the board. Oh, okay. Sorry. I did the wrong one. We're gonna regenerate. We're gonna go and actually do this. Because the other one, edit, edit may have a bug, which is what Michael was saying earlier. She's taking her time. Okay. Okay, it did give us the other version. All right, so there's a difference between editing and regenerating. I didn't see it pop up in the bottom left corner there, so that's my bad. But editing is just like small tweaks that you're making in the scene that's already there. Regenerating is basically regenerating like a whole new frame, which is what it gave us right here. So you can tell the scene, the background is different. She's wearing different clothes because it regenerated the entire scene. But for the sake of this one, we're going to use the second one because it looks the most like her. Okay. So we've got that. So you can see it made that change and it did it pretty well. So you'd have to go in and do it for all of these to make her skin tone consistent across the board. But for the sake of time, I will generate this scene so I can show you guys. Basically, you want to make sure that all of your shots are consistent before you generate the scene, which for the most part they are. So we're going to generate her. So we went from shot list, which is the first component of the storyboard, where we edited all of this stuff, to start frames, which is basically like it putting all of the shots together. And now we're going to generate the scene, which is going to put all of the start frames together into one scene. We're going to generate this. I'm going to say yes. And then so while that's generating, this, if you guys can see this sidebar over here where it says page 1 of 6, there's 54 total scenes, which means that, so each of these, so there's 54 total, I think it means 54 total shot, or maybe no. Nope, this is page 1 of 6. My bad. Okay. So there's 54 total scenes, which are the numbers on this far left side here, which means that there's 54 potential clips of everything meshed together. So you're going to go through every single one of these individually and do what we just did here. So then you have all of your scenes to put together. It's like going up in tiers. It's like you're mashing things together until you get all of the things and then you mash them all together into one movie. That's how you do that manually. That might have been very confusing. So if anyone has any questions on what I just said, please let me know. Or if it does make sense, then great. But that's how you're doing it. You're going through this sidebar, going through each of these individually, going through the shot list, going through the start frames, and then generating the scene. Hopefully that makes sense. But it is generating our scene right now, which can take a little bit. Okay, so it's telling us the process actually, which is great. So it's 4 out of 7 shots done. I think the top is the remaining. Yeah, okay. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is the scene. So we went from storyboard, from generating this, to now we're going to editor. And this is for shot 1. So we didn't do shot 2. You can see it's still, we still need to edit it. But this is shot 1, which is what we were just working on. Okay, so we're gonna play this right now and see what it's given us. And hopefully you can hear the audio through your side.
place never changes. All right, time to get this done.
That's the first version. So we're going to have to edit some things. But
I
you
had a
did a
question.
good job. Sorry?
I had a quick question.
Yes, ask away. It is very quiet still, but I'm trying to lean in so I can hear. If you see me going down, that's what I'm doing.
What is the output resolution?
Ooh, that's a Michael question too. I am not entirely sure. Okay, there you go. 1080p. Cool. Yeah, so does anyone have any questions on what I just showed you? It's a very brief overview of the basics of how to use it without getting into like too much technicalities. But I hope this was helpful to you guys. Any questions? Happy to answer anything. Hopefully this made it a little more clear on how to use the movie machine.
You still gonna do the photorealistic or no?
We actually do not have time for the photorealistic right now. I did generate it to show you guys, but we ended up, since it took a while to download, we ended up just doing the cartoon one to save time because we're already almost 10 minutes until the end. But this is the photorealistic one. I showed you guys a little bit in the beginning. We could just jump right into it without editing. I can just create, let it run.
But you already have an example of one that's already done.
Sorry,
Do you have an example of one that's already done?
of the photorealistic?
Yes.
Not personally, but I can generate this right now without any edits. This might actually be good to see if you guys want to see this. I'm not making any edits to anything on the photorealistic version and just gonna see what it creates. So this might actually be helpful for some people to see that. We'll generate the scene and see what happens. Zero edits going in, so we'll see what it does. Now this might take a second as well. It's gonna take about the same time the last one did. Maybe a smidge longer. I'm not entirely sure how much it varies by style. Does anyone have any questions while that is loading? I hope it loads quick. I do have a call right at 10, so I'm hoping that this is gonna give us that before then. Has anyone put their movie or has anyone put their book into the movie machine yet and seen anything? I know you guys said you were new to it, but I don't know if you've messed around with it yet. It's fun to play around with. All right, we're getting some stuff. What stuff do you guys write? Would you write in a specific genre?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I worked in Hollywood for many years for the networks for
Uh-huh.
Fox and NBC and CNN. And then I also have my own production company. We focus on music videos, but I've just currently finished my first screenplay,
Nice.
which is a comedy. So I'm going to try to get some agents here locally in Southern California to pick up on my script and see if I can get it produced. But I just came across LTX Studio and then your app as well. So I just wanted to see what the capabilities were.
Yeah. It's smart to know all of your options, for sure. Okay. Sci-fi. Sci-fi's fun. That'd be a fun one to test out I think it was there was a style that was, what was it called? The cyberpunk. That one might be fun to try out with sci-fi. I'd be very curious to see what that came out looking. Alrighties. We almost have it. Alright, we just got two more. Sorry for the wait time, guys. Equivalent cost to the 91 coins. 100 coins, I think, is about $10. Yeah. So there's your pricing for the coins. I showed it earlier, but I'm not sure if you were there for it or not. But this is where you go to get coins. I think they might be adding like a custom input for coins soon too. Maybe. I wrote that down to ask because I would be curious. Okay. Yep. Yeah, you can. I'm responding to Augustus's comment right here. Even when you're in the middle of writing your novel, you can still put it in there. You just need to have a PDF of the draft. Might be fun to play around with. Could give you some inspiration while you're writing too. Okay, we got one left. Here we go. Think we're gonna have enough time. There we go. All right, so we have all of our shots. We are not gonna edit them, like I said, for the sake of time. So we're gonna generate the scene. Hopefully this. Trying to read everyone's stuff. All right. A cyberpunk android story might be fun to put into that cyberpunk style. Alrighty. Hmm. Okay. You weren't able to. Were you able to see this call? It looks like you're in it, but I'll write down the email list or your email. Let me do this. G. Just hold on. Come and go. You just sent your email and now I can't see it. Oh, there we go. Okay. GAU. Okay. I wrote down your email, so I'll make sure you're on the list. But it looks like you were able to join the call, so that's good. No problem on answering the questions. I'm happy to help to the best of my abilities. Like I said, I am also new to the platform, so you're getting we're learning together. That's the thing you're getting. We're learning together. All right, so now we have our scene is here. It doesn't look like it's fully loaded in yet. Let's go here. Okay. All right. So we have our photorealistic theme that I did not make any edits to. So now you guys can see how it looks to put this in here and see what happens without making any edits. So this is interesting. We'll see how this goes. looks like they must have. I'm gonna reload this. Doesn't look like our speech has come through here. Ah, here we go. See, it takes a little bit to load, so the audio of her talking did not come through. We just need to refresh the page. So we'll watch it again so you can hear it with audio.
Can't let anyone see who I really am. Not here. Out here, orphans aren't welcome. We're stuck in the swamps. We just want peace. Orphans have always been outsiders, confined to tree-node swamps. We just want to live without fear. But it's never that simple. It's time to face this head on. No more hiding.
Honestly, it was pretty good. Other than the interesting part where she started singing, I think it turned out pretty good for making 0 edits. So there you have it. I put it in there with making no edits, and it still put out something pretty cool. Although we definitely need to go in there and make some edits on her skin tone, her not being a half fish. You have to go in and make tweaks, but that's literally what it looked like with making 0 tweaks. So did pretty good. But yeah, if anyone has any other questions, feel free to either email me or Michael. Happy to help with anything. I hope this was helpful to you guys. And yeah, this is great. We are looking forward to seeing you guys on the platform and seeing what you can come up with. But I'm gonna head out because I actually have a meeting with a woman who's going to be using the platform. So definitely want to make sure I get there at an appropriate time for her. But yeah, if anyone has any other questions, feel free to reach out. I'll actually drop my calendar link in here for you as well. If anyone has any questions specifically about their books and how to use the machine for their projects, I'm going to drop my calendar link here for you guys. So if you want to set up a call and talk about what we can do for your book, happy to talk. So thank you guys. I appreciate you being here and wanting to learn more about how we can help you guys bring your visions to life. So hope you have a great Friday. I can't believe it's already Friday. It doesn't feel like Friday. Oh my gosh. I'm ready for the weekend. I hope you guys are having a great day, and we will chat with you soon. Have a good one, guys. I'm dipping out. Bye.